a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Brissett to throw on first. And incomplete to open things up. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
Okay, so he doesn't look like your prototypical #1 wide receiver, but T.Y. Hilton gives you that type of production. 7 seasons in the league, he's been over 1,000 yards in 5 of them. Led the NFL in receiving yards in 2016 and had a strong case to be a Pro Bowler for the 5th time in 2018. Missed it, but probably should have been named to the team.
A second down throw for Brissett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, here's Brissett. And Eifert has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Brissett. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Set, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. 53. Mike, 53. Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner.
Check, check, check,
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. It's now third down and long.
It's third and long for Brissett. To the left side here for Eifert. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
319. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. No. Hold. Mike's 59.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Emmanuel Ogbah able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Let's go now. Pick that ring. 53. Watch the backer.
It's Conner as they stay on the ground. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense, because when they came out on the field, their number 1 mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15.
Let's go, folks.
The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 15 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Brissett sets to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Sims. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Hey, let's get this, get this.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Brissett got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Red Allison, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw again. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
It's a gain of 3. 1st down,
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And right side, Henry's got it. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers going deep. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Here's Brissett. Caught left side by Hilton. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. Over the middle, here it's Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You got 3 down.
On play action, Brissett. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Draw play to Sims. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they're able to double their lead in this 1st half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine cornerback, there to make the play defensively. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now Brissett. To the left side here for Eifert. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. It just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
On third down, Brissett. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Taking it about the 16. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on them. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Eckler. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Henry's got it out on the left side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Brissett again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try to get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4. Matchup, we won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go, baby.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
On play action, Rodgers. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Henry. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now Aldrick Rosas for the field goal attempt. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go. 51's Mike.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there, first down. A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Rodgers throwing on 3rd and long. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Check. 59. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers, they set up the screen for Henry. Down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Rosas good with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing, Brissett. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Welcome back now to Denver. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the fourth. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pickup there of 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Brissett. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. Darryl Worley up to make the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time up.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Rodgers on third down. Flushed out right. He'll get this to Eckler. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. And able to find Garcon. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? What a chance they just took. A huge chance. They go for it on fourth down, wind up getting the first.
Go ahead and admit it. You thought it was a bad call,
I
didn't you?
did, yes.
I think any normal person did. How about him picking it up? Give him credit.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Mike Lennon, 319. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On play action. Now Rodgers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. A safety with a sack there. LaMarcus Joyner. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
All day, every day, any day.
Throwing on third and long. Rodgers. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
You need to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Throwing on second and 3. Brissett to the left side here for Eifert. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on third and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Brissett to throw on first. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. So first and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. And their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up An exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. I got him. 51's Mike. Mike 51. I want that.
To throw, it's Rodgers. On target over the middle of Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running on first down, Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
And with that kneel down at the end of the game, partner, they now get to 3-1. This is a good football team we saw in this game.
It is indeed getting to 2 games above 500, and I know early on, while they said they wanted to win every game, they thought they would be solid with a 3-1 start, and here they are.
Yeah, you break your schedule up almost into quarters, every 4 games, and assess 3-1. Any team would take that.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game, What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
the defense.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Jags, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.